Hello and welcome to All Things Natural. This is Dr. Victoria Terry, a traditional naturopath. I'd like to take a few minutes to just mention that anything you hear in this podcast today is for informational purposes only. It is not meant to diagnose, treat, or heal any illness or disease. Today's topic is, what exactly is the difference between a naturopathic physician and a traditional naturopath? This is a question that I'm asked quite often, actually. And I am a traditional naturopath, obviously. You hear me say that every time I introduce myself, and there's a reason why. That one reason is because by law, I have to let you know that I am not a medical doctor. And by saying traditional naturopath, that legally keeps me out of trouble. Pretty much. Now, the difference between a naturopathic physician and a traditional naturopath is a wide, vast difference. A naturopathic physician is a medical doctor. It could be your primary source, your primary doctor, who uses diagnosis, who is licensed and can prescribe medication and legally use other Western medical practices. Whereas a traditional naturopath, as myself, is not a medical doctor. I am not licensed, and I specialize in non-invasive lifestyle consultations. A traditional naturopath avoids diagnosing diseases or prescribing medications. Matter of fact, the principles that guide us as traditional naturopathies lead to general improvement in health overall. Commonly, clients will say that they have, their health problems have improved or even disappeared by basically using nutrition and supplementation, finding the balance or the homeostasis within the person as a whole body. Matter of fact, as a traditional naturopath, I work with the whole body. I work with the mind, body, spirit. You've heard me talk before in some of my other podcasts about the fact that the brain has everything to do with what the body does. If the brain thinks in your mind, your emotions are upset and off kilter, it throws everything physical off kilter. Not only does it throw physical off kilter, it throws your spiritual off kilter, and I'll get there in a minute. But you are what your body thinks. If you are a failure and you think you're a failure, your body will follow suit. How does that work? Because when you're constantly thinking in the negative at all times, the body responds in the negative. There's no hope, there's no anything. You see, our organs follow, which is physical, our organs follow, our organs hold emotions, such as you've heard of somebody that says she died of a broken heart. Well, the heart has a lot of grief, as well as the lungs. If someone has constant lung problems, respiratory, things like that, there's grief there. The kidneys hold fear. Someone who is like, you've heard somebody go, oh, she scared me so bad I peed my pants. Well, the kidneys hold the emotion of fear, and so on and so on. And anger is held in the liver. So someone who is ticked off all the time, a traditional naturopath would look at the health of the liver, something that I do on a common basis anyway. And those of you who have heard my talks before know that the liver is a major big part of the overall body and healing. So those are the types of things that a traditional naturopath, as myself, would look at. We would look at the mind and help with the emotional state. We would look at the body and what it's doing and what it needs. And we would look at that as, where are the mineral deficiencies? Where are the deficiencies in the body and the brain? Is the cells getting enough oxygen? We can tell all of this by a simple urine and saliva test, very non-invasive testing. Or analysis, as I should say. And then I look at the spiritual. Well, what does the spiritual have to do with it? People go like, well, I don't want you in my spiritual business. I'm not. But what if I have someone who comes in, and I have had this, who does not eat particular foods based on their spiritual faith, on their faith? I have to learn as a naturopath, as a traditional naturopath, I skirt around their religious beliefs in order and find ways to get them the nutrients that their body is missing because of their religious practices. or their beliefs. So it's mind, body, spirit. And as a traditional naturopath, that's what I emphasize my entire practice on. Whereas, again, naturopathic physicians is a medical doctor, your primary source. They are licensed. They deal with medications and prescriptions. Do they deal with food and things? Absolutely. Many naturopathic physicians go that way so that they can work with the nutrition and different things on a whole different level than a traditional naturopath. I will tell you that. It is, because they've been in the medical field, they work with it, they take pharmacology, they take all of that, they talk about different things. So they've been in classrooms and they've been inundated with the Western medical practices. Is that bad? No, of course it's not. It gives them a great insight to a lot of different things. Does that mean that as a traditional naturopath I don't know these things? Nope, it does not. I've had years of study, as does a naturopathic physician. We study in different areas, same basic things. We learn the same things. We just do things in a different style and try to be more non-invasive instead of bringing in the prescriptions and relying on Western medical practices. And that's basically the difference right there. But legally, I cannot introduce myself without saying that I am a traditional naturopath, because it puts it right up front, right away, that I am not a licensed medical doctor. I hope this has been helpful to you. I want you to understand the difference so that when someone might ask you, well, what's the difference? You're going to have the answer. This is Dr. Victoria Terry, a traditional naturopath, and with all things natural. And until next time.